Oh boy, we are back. We're back with another memory leak,
Last
hot off
one.
the press.
Last one.
Fast one. E3 season is pretty much fucking done.
Yeah.
There was some good shit today,
shit.
though. Some good shit
Yeah,
that made me
fuck.
happy.
Yeah. So what are we? We are Memory Leak. Wow. Haha. Memory Leak.
de
Yay.
la
Cool. Yay.
memoria.
You are. What's your name?
Benjamin, Erdrick to Benjamin.
Ah, wow. And my name is Wow. Geron. They actually put Silux in it. Geron. And yeah, what the fuck? Nintendo had their direct today, as they call it.
As they do.
That means we got a last little bit of stuff to talk about for the summer summer announcements. I had been I'll just say, if I'm going to compare to the other ones, I was happy with Microsoft's. I was pretty bored with the other two, meaning and Ubisoft, meaning Sony's didn't really care much for what they had except for Astrobot. I was about to say Astro Boy. And then the Summer Game Fest was mostly whatever to me. So we've got Nintendo.
I do want to say Nintendo's probably resonated more with the specific things we as people are going to be playing.
That's true. That's very
think
true.
If you were to try to take an objective step back and just look at it holistically on like impact, I would probably say Microsoft's is probably more important.
Yeah, I think from Microsoft doing what they have been doing in the past however long, and then having stuff to show.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, and it was a lot of good stuff too.
Like stuff that I was like, okay, stuff that made me consider getting an Xbox. And then I was like, wait a minute, my PC is still, as long as the Series S exists, my PC is fine.
Right. Exactly.
But so let's go down the list of Nintendo shit.
All right.
And
First up, big one. Mario and Luigi Brothership.
Did not expect another Mario and Luigi game because Alpha Dream got shuttered a while back.
Did they do all 5 Mario and
Luigi
Luigi
games? They did
games?
all 5 Mario and Luigi games.
Shit.
Every single one.
And when we say they got shuttered, like
the company, there's
that
no
whole subsidiary fucking nuked.
There's no company called Alpha Dream. I don't even think they were. I think they're.
Did the talent get reabsorbed? I guess we don't
they
know
must
that.
have, because they were contracted every time. They were contracted for every game. Nintendo did not own them. That's why why they were able to shut down.
Yeah.
Because Nintendo wasn't putting money into them. Nintendo wasn't.
When did they shut them down?
Huh?
Do you remember when they shut them down?
Who shut them down?
When Alpha Dream shut down?
They shut
themselves down?
They was it 2019?
Okay. So
maybe
it's been a while.
It's been a while. I don't remember exactly when, but it's been a while, yeah.
All right. Well, I will say that's probably the biggest question mark, and the thing I'm almost most excited for is just figuring out who made the game.
Mm-hmm.
Is it completely brand new team of talent? Is it completely new director? Is it old squad? Is it Square Enix? Like,
is Yoko Shimomura doing the fucking music again?
Yeah. Did she do all Mario and Luigi games?
I think so. Right. I think so.
She's got a full plate. She got Ray Natus coming out.
Yeah. Fucking.
Which got a demo on the direct for Japan, but not for the US.
Not for us, yeah. I will say, so this is the 6th Mario and Luigi game, and the timing, like this late in the Switch's life cycle and everything, is closer to be like, this made me feel like, okay, the Switch is now going to be treated like kind of Game Boy Advance status, where it gets games that are, modern portable games that are the Game Boy line and including the DS was always like 2 generations behind the console. Consoles of the time, and it was very noticeable. And now, with Switch, still noticeable, but it's like you're still getting the full 3D games that you would get. Full 3D
they're
HD
doing
games.
what they do best, which is making use of old hardware and just using style over polygons.
Yeah, and
to tell something that looks good.
And I think past like the looks of it, it's like gameplay concepts. The expectations for them are different.
Right.
So you can have a simpler game and accept it when it's on something that's also a handheld. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So I was like, if you had this on PS5, you'd probably expect it to be different.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
higher quality, I guess.
Well, not higher, maybe higher fidelity, I guess.
That's what I meant.
But I mean, like
visual quality.
Like you'd expect bigger gameplay systems, like a bigger world and shit like that, just because that's what the game, the console would allow you to do. But because it's Switch, the expectations are more contracted for the scope.
Yeah.
So you're just like, okay, this is fully acceptable, and because of that expectation, it's easier to be surprised by some of this kind of shit.
Right.
So there may be like it meets expectations, great, but there may be a situation where it's like, oh, this is grander than.
Honestly, I feel like that is originally why Nintendo stopped trying to fight the horse race of horsepower. Is because of that. They don't like having these expectations thrust on them in any way, shape, or form.
And every time they do go for the big power console of any kind, it doesn't matter when it is, it doesn't matter how it is in comparison to the other machines. If their console is powerful, it is going to sell like shit. I don't know why.
Yep.
They don't know why. It doesn't matter. They said, fuck it.
It doesn't work.
We're doing a handheld that doubles as a console rather than a console handheld separate. So all the resources are going to be put into this when it comes to making games. So Mario and Luigi Brothership looks good. I'm probably going to get it.
Yeah.
Crazy that we got
November 7th.
November 7th. Like within a year, we've got a game for every single Mario RPG series.
Yeah, Mario. I mean, arguably, you could say Paper Mario was Mario RPG, but the fact that we got both is
exactly. Like
icing on the top.
Exactly. Oh, my phone's vibrating. So, next one.
They did another touch point on Nintendo World Championships NES Edition.
I thought I was going to get that because I thought that there's like not much else coming out anytime soon. So, it's like, $30 little NES remix kind of thing. Now, I kind of want to try it first.
That's fair. You can try my copy.
Yeah, I was about to say, I know you're gonna get it, so I'll probably try yours and then decide if I'm gonna get that. The idea is cool. Like NES Remix was cool, but we talked about this already. So
we did.
Yeah.
Fairy Tail 2. I know everybody's gearing to talk about that.
I don't know what's up, why that had to be in the direct. I simply do not care.
Yeah. But followed up immediately by Fantasian.
Which is
so hyped for that.
That's the Apple Arcade game, right?
Originally, yeah. Mistwalker. Hironobu Sakaguchi, original Final Fantasy creator, Mistwalker Studios.
It doesn't he have like a self-insert character in that game?
He might. I didn't play enough of it to know. I touched it. I bought Apple Arcade for a month, played it, and I was like, I'm never gonna.
Okay. Well, now it's on.
Now it's on a console.
It's on Switch.
Console.
I think it's on PC too. Coming to PC.
Yeah, which honestly, I'm surprised it took this long. I feel like there's something with the publishing or whatever it is.
I think when anything comes out on Apple Arcade, there's a deal in place. Like
it could be, but it's been years for one, and two, it has controller support.
Dog, fucking Castlevania, the Castlevania game that came, I think it's called Grimoire of the Rift, came out on Apple Arcade. Exactly. That shit ain't come out on anything, but that also has like controller support and everything too.
Oh shit.
And I only tried it because either Heather or Richard had an iPad that I could try it on. And it's fun. I enjoyed what I played of it, but it's just I'd like that on other shit too.
Yeah.
But yeah, Fantasian being anything breaking out of its prison is great.
Is there any is it noteworthy that Mistwalker is pairing up with Square Enix?
Yes, it is. It's very much so.
But they left on good terms.
They left on good terms, for sure.
This isn't like a Kojima Konami situation.
No. But it's that Hironobu Sakaguchi's games are being taken care of by Square Enix. Is like there's probably an element of respect in the publisher. Like we know who you are. He's been
involved in shit before. Yeah, too. He's been involved in Final Fantasy 14 to a little bit of a degree, and I feel like they consult him on some projects too when they're ever like remaking games.
Yeah,
but
it's like he's still in the loop despite being an independent developer. Yeah, not like indie developer, but having his own independent company from Square Enix.
I would like to see some of the other Mistwalker games sort of like given that treatment. Last Story in particular comes to mind.
It's crazy. Last Story is stuck on Wii.
Yeah, I have my physical copy still, but it's not worth me getting a Wii out for.
Well, you have a Wii U, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
but I'm not. I don't want to play with the fucking things. It's the same thing I had with Xenoblade.
Just put in the classic controller.
That's another thing.
I know. It's another fucking 3,000 things plugged in. I know.
A single thing.
Yeah. I understand. It's crazy that you can't play classic controller games with the Wii U Pro controller.
Oh my god!
On the Wii U, it's insane.
It is actually
that you can't
insane.
Just put in if you buy if you bought a Wii game on the Wii U eShop, you could use the gamepad as a classic controller. But if it's on a disc, can't do it.
fucking weird.
So like RE4,
so situational.
RE4, the Wii version.
At least RE4 is on Switch.
Yeah, RE4 is on fucking everything now, so I don't give a fuck. But RE4, you could pop that into your Wii U, and you couldn't use the gamepad as a controller. But if you bought the digital version on the Wii U eShop, then you could use that as the controller. It's like, whatever, guys.
I don't like it.
It's weird.
But Fantasian, hyped about. Respect for the physical dioramas he built for that game.
Yep.
Like hundreds of them or something crazy.
Yeah,
it's just like a good looking Warhammer collectors game filled with like passion and love.
Yeah. So let's keep going.
Nintendo Switch Sports basketball.
Crazy that game's getting another sport after
when was the last time that it got one?
It got golf at the end of 2002 on T2, I think.
2 years ago, right?
Yeah, either 2 years ago or last. I think it was 2022. But yeah, didn't expect to see any more Switch Sports anything. The game's fun, and it's actually quite popular. It's just not talked about the same way Wii Sports was, simply because it's not a pack-in game, and it has an emphasis on online play.
Right.
But I will say, considering the support for games like that's still going, next console is guaranteed backward compatible.
For sure.
Guaranteed. They wouldn't waste their time updating some of the shit if they only had a few months left with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So. And it feels like a good opportunity to bring in a packing game.
Yeah.
Like now that they have a backlog of games that are super popular and super like well taken care of and updated, like please go back to reinvigorating console like couch co-op with Wii Sports.
Yeah.
Like that type of shit really needs to like that is their bread and butter, so they would benefit from it. Mio Memories in Orbit.
I looked at that and I was like, this isn't Silksong, is it?
I know.
But it looks cool. I don't know much about it. When I saw Mio, I was like, I've been playing Xenoblade recently. But I don't know much about it. I didn't pay too much attention to it when it was on my TV, and I didn't go back to watch the directs because I came straight here after I worked. But it looks cool.
Yeah,
that's all I really have to say about that.
It looks like an indie cool game that I'm happy for people to get enjoyment out of it. Probably not going to be a day one purchase.
If it turns out to be cool, like a cool Metroidvania, then maybe I'll pick it up on PC or something, because I know it's going to have a PC version, because it'll be on sale there first before it's on sale on Switch. But who knows?
Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Funny as shit that this popped up.
This is a new game.
It's a new game, and it's Switch exclusive for the first year, I think.
That's really funny. It looks good.
I saw it.
It's a very nice looking game.
I saw it and I was like, oh well, it's it looks fun enough.
It does.
And this is another one of those games that give me that Game Boy Advance feeling, that like handheld game feeling. I was like, okay, all right, let's see how it turns out. That's probably not for me to buy, but I can see it being a likable game, not like the fucking kart racer. You can't make a kart racer on the same machine as Mario.
There
Kart.
is another Hello Kitty game that was like $2 recently though on Switch.
I don't know what the fuck it was.
It was actually
a lot of.
That
Hello
was like
Kitty
a linear,
games. Like a little
type
adventure
game, almost like a Mario Party type game. I want to say.
I don't know.
I'm making shit up right now.
That's. Appreciate the honesty after that.
Looney Tunes Wacky World of Sports.
Whack.
Why?
From Game Mill. Whack.
Who's Game Mill?
Game Mill.
Are they
the Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl games, all the Nickelodeon kart racing games, all the little janky and they're called Game Mill. Whack. It's gonna be whack. It's gonna be dog shit. Game's gonna suck
looked
balls.
Cool though.
No, game's gonna be hot dog shit.
The visuals looked nice. I like the art style.
Don't. I saw Game Mill. I was like, all right, fuck this. Bye. It's ass. It's gonna be ass.
I'm gonna buy it for you.
If you buy that for me, I'm gonna run over it with my motor vehicle.
Disney World of Illusion. What was it called?
That was the like Illusion. I don't remember. It's the platformer.
Illusion Island.
Illusion Island. There
Mystery
you go.
in Manoth.
It's getting an update, and it's I remember seeing that game a year or so ago.
Yeah.
And thinking this looks cool.
But
I never played it.
Reviews. Yeah.
Yeah. I wish there was a demo so I could try it.
Yeah.
Like it's as far as I understand, it's a platformer with no combat.
Yeah.
And I was like, I kind of been talking about.
Yeah, it's a
that.
cool idea.
So if it probably doesn't have the same kind of level of platforming as like fucking Rayman Legends or something.
Yeah.
But
Celeste is the same idea, by the way. No combat.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you dash through. It's not adversarial stuff like that, but it's a little more actiony than I expect from this, though. You know what I mean?
This would be intended for a Disney audience.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Among Us update.
Among Us update, cool. I'm glad it's getting an update. I'm glad games get updates.
Glad they leaked the direct.
This is how they leaked the direct, actually. Was it GameSpot?
I love that was fucking confirmed. I think it was GameSpot.
Yeah, the video was uploaded and it was like dropping today. It was June 18th. I was like, oh, okay. And it turned out to be that. This is one of those kind of leaks. I'm like, that's real.
Yeah.
Like that's not speculation. That's a fuck up. That's real. Like a fuck up. That's something I can believe when I see it, because I've seen fuck ups like that before.
Somebody makes a mistake that reveals information.
Like someone talks too much. Someone says something. Like when someone says something huge, like, oh, this is for sure going to happen. And then it doesn't happen. It's like, it's delayed because it's like, yeah, shut the fuck up. Stop trying to get fucking internet clout, loser. Fucking lame ass.
Did you see that one leaker?
Which one?
There was a leaker that pretended to be,
I know,
that
but
shit was crazy.
Yep. Yeah. I was.
How does somebody decide to do that?
I don't know.
I would love to understand the mentality there, or lack thereof.
People would. There's this random forum I post on sometimes. Don't worry about it. But
whoa!
Don't worry about it. That's for another day.
What forum?
No, I'm not gonna say. I don't want to say it here because I'm gonna get clowned on by real people. I don't want to do that. But as industry people on it, I was like, oh, cool. Okay, I can post here. Like,
I'm curious now. Is it a public forum or private?
It's a public forum, but you have to. For a while, you had to. When you registered, you had to have like a real email address, and you had to have a bunch of other shit.
Interesting.
Like you couldn't use a Gmail account to do it, and I was like, oh, okay. I remember I posted something there about like, damn, N64 games are kind of crusty now. I wish I didn't feel this way. And then fucking dude from like Digital Foundry was like, hey, something, do this and that and this and that. Maybe you'll feel different. I was like, oh, okay. I'll explain this later.
What the fuck are you talking
I'll explain
this.
About
emulation or what?
No, it wasn't emulation. No. It was like getting converters and shit like that. I was like, I don't need to do all that. But I think I was just like,
wait, where are you going with this?
Nowhere. I'm just telling you of the experience is bad. But I remember this person. Every time something from this person got posted, I would see it and be like, "Can y'all stop? Can y'all stop?" Like the person said they were gonna quit, and then
but was this person? I got confused by the deception of like who they were. The weird persona they were pretending to be. But like, did they actually have information that they were leaking, or were they making all of it up?
Most of it was made up. I think a couple of times they
really fucking funny.
Like apparently one time they kind of attempted to blackmail actual like in journalists
Holy
or whatever.
Shit.
Because they were masquerading as a Japanese woman oh my god. They would pretend to type in slightly broken English and shit like that. And it's like, fuck off.
Fucked up, dude.
Fuck off.
I couldn't even believe that.
And once you know, you're like, what the fuck? I don't even know how he got on this, but the fact that you said Persona earlier is funny because I think because Among Us. Leaking Persona. Yeah, that's right. Among Us. Leaking and shit.
Real leaks versus fucking weirdo fake leaks.
Yeah. And they had tried to say they had the Persona 6 logo, and I was like, hey. I'm in my head, I was like, hey, stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
Even if real or not, stop.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay.
Farmasia, weird name. Is that what it's called?
Farmagia? Yeah, I think it's Farmagia.
I'm saying it like it's an Italian cheese.
No, that's
Farmagia.
Farmagia. I think it's the word farm showed up, so my brain immediately just turned off.
Yeah. I mean,
is that the game with the little monsters? Okay. So it's like the weird like Pikmin style.
You farm a monster in Pikmin style, but it's like a monster that you create hordes of, I guess.
I think it's not a terrible idea.
It's unique enough.
This is the kind of game where I need a demo.
Yeah.
I need to see how this idea plays out. And then maybe I'll consider.
Mere fact that one of the few battles they show, it's doing like 900,000 damage.
Yeah.
Some shit where I'm like instant tune out.
But see, I like obnoxious numbers.
Like Diablo 3 style.
Like Tatsunoko versus Capcom style, where everything is in billions. That's all the damage values are something billion.
Yeah.
But okay.
Moving right along. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD.
So slightly not conflicted. That's not the word. on one hand, I'm a little indifferent because I played this game on Wii and I played this game on 3DS.
That's more where I land. I have it on Wii. I have it on 3DS.
Yeah.
I've 100%ed it on fucking both.
Right.
So I'm like, I feel like 2 times is enough for me for a Donkey Kong game. Same thing with Tropical Freeze. I bought it on Wii U. I bought it on Switch. I 100%ed it on both. And I'm good. Like, I love those games.
Yeah.
So
what's great is that every game that's called Donkey Kong Country is on Switch now. If you have Switch Online specifically.
With an only asterisk being, would you count Donkey Kong Land?
No.
Would you count Donkey Kong Country for the Game Boy Color? Would you count Donkey Kong Country for the Game Boy Advance?
No.
They are different games.
Yeah,
they are different games.
All you know what I mean. The main Super Nintendo and the
real
Super
shit.
Nintendo Wii and the Wii U game are all on Switch. You know,
it's weird that Donkey Kong 64 is not on Switch Online.
It's always weird that it's not weird. That game is always weird for them to get on shit. It took a long time for them to get it on Wii U. Right. I don't think it ever came out on Wii.
Yeah, I don't think it did either.
Yeah. There's something weird about that game, probably because there's code in there that's basically just Banjo-Kazooie, and somebody else owns that shit.
Could be.
So, not to mention maybe the DK rap causes problems. Who knows? They only used the smallest portion of it in the Mario movie.
That's true.
And they didn't even credit Grant Kirkhope. They just said it's in Donkey Kong 64. All right.
Yeah.
So I think that game is great for real. I think it needed a version that was
accessible.
HD. Like accessible. It's in HD. The controls are not dog shit because the controls in the Wii version are dog shit.
It's true.
And you can't even play it with the classic controller on that, which is ridiculous to me. You can play it with normal controls on the 3DS, but the frame rate is cut in half. For some people, that's fine. But to have it on a TV or on a handheld, 2 players,
controls,
2 players,
flawless,
normal controls,
1080p, 60 FPS,
right?
Yeah.
And I did see that before. I did see that before seeing the end of the presentation. Like, is Retro Studios ain't doing anything new? They've got this project that they're working on that we haven't seen yet, but. Donkey Kong Country Returns.
Well, and also they didn't even do the 3DS one.
They didn't. Monster Games did.
Right.
Yeah. And but
do we know if they did this?
They probably did.
Oh, okay.
They probably did. I think this was probably one of the easier ports to do. It looks like the Wii game. It looks like they didn't do much to the textures or the models or anything.
Yeah, there's no funky mode.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing crazy about it. They added the 3DS content.
What was the 3DS content again?
There was an extra like temple and shit like that. There was some extra shit in the 3DS.
I vaguely remember that. If you at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 3 levels.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if there was something like funky mode, it would probably be like just the smallest enough reason for me to actually get this.
That one. Yeah.
But because it's like almost purely a port.
Yeah.
I'm like, you
can't justify thinking about getting it for, even if it's like $40, $30.
Like, I would love to support my favorite fucking Nintendo franchise this way, but I just don't like. I'm never gonna. I don't see myself playing it.
Yeah, it does smell like a new game might be somewhere on paper.
God, I hope so.
Yeah, so maybe not called Donkey Kong Country specifically, but. Yo, shut the fuck up. It has been since original Tropical Freeze.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So we'll see how that game turns out. I might actually end up buying it because I'll
play two-player with you.
I gave the 3DS version to a cousin of mine, a very young cousin of mine. I gave my 3DS and that game to him because he chose it. And he promptly lost it.
Yep, that's what kids do.
That's kids. Yeah, that's kids. I was like on my 3rd 3DS, so I was like, fuck it, I don't need another one. But okay.
Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D. Finally, some fucking news.
So they showed people had been speculating about 1 and 2 also being added. I was like, they're probably doing that. They haven't shown us a lot of it, but those games are kind of integral to the original Dragon Quest situation anyway. So why wouldn't they? Every time they do it, they do 1 plus 2 together.
Games, yeah,
like on Game Boy Color even, they sold Dragon Quest 1 and 2, and then they sold Dragon Quest 3.
And I have both those carts still.
There you go. So they release they show us Dragon Quest 3 2D HD remaster or remake or whatever. And I'm like, this looks good as fuck. It's great. I'm going to get this. Yeah. Dragon Quest 3 is like required playing.
The animations are fucking crisp and animated and like they look good as
shit. The camera swoops down for the battles and shit.
Yeah, there's good quality there.
And if you like Akira Toriyama, R.I.P. old man, He wasn't even that old, but you need to, if you haven't played Dragon Quest 3, this is the way to do it. And if you're interested in Japanese RPGs at all, you have to play this one. And then what happened after that?
Then they showed the key art, and they're like, "All right,
the key art,
it's coming out.
Probably, the music's playing."
Did they give a date? I don't think they did.
I don't think they gave a date.
Just 2025.
2025 was for the other two.
Yeah. So they zoomed out of the key art.
They zoomed. I knew that was coming. I was like,
all three of those motherfuckers.
Yeah, they were hanging there too long. I was like, as soon as I saw fucking DQ1 Erdrick ass dude, I was like, okay, all right.
1 and 2 confirmed. Also getting the 2D HD remake.
Yeah, and
honestly, I've said this before. 2 actually needs a fucking remake.
2 needed at least 2 on the original version of 2 needed help. I will say the mobile version is much less annoying to play than that version.
It's still annoying though. It's still got the segments that are super fucking annoying.
And I don't think that's going to go anywhere. I think that's part of the game. I think that's integral to I'm about to say Mortal Kombat 2. Why?
I don't think that last
Dragon Quest 2
of the long spree of killing shit tons of random enemies and an entire boss situation with no save points. They can improve that.
Yeah, I think
I hope they fucking do.
And maybe there'll be an option to just save anywhere. I don't know. Who knows? But
I'd be good with that.
Regardless, you're still getting Dragon Quest 1 and 3.
I hope that they are the definitive versions of these games.
Dragon Quest 1 is such a compact game. Speaking of compact games, that game is short. It's a little grindy, and but the grind is fun.
Like a couple hours.
You play as one character. You only have to manage one character with, a weapon, and some clothes, and it's great. I think it's great.
Essentialized micro RPG.
Yeah, and then Dragon Quest 3, you have the job system. You can recruit whatever characters or whatever. If you want a whole fucking,
you can prestige them. If you want to go off the deep end. There's so much cool.
You can have your entire party be the same class if you want to. You can make it work.
That game was made for the fucking NES.
Yeah,
how much depth there is to it.
There's a reason why that game gets so much attention outside of it being popular when it came out. There's a reason why they absolutely took the tabletop RPG experience that was a lot of these computer RPGs were meant to emulate and simplified it in a way that was fun to look at and fun to play because you didn't have to do all the character sheet shit for every character. But because they simplified all that, you can have all these characters that you can manage. It was
It is weird that we live in a world where right now the definitive versions of playing these games are either DS, regular DS, or phone.
Or on a phone, yep.
One of the most beloved RPG franchises that the world has seen. Yeah. And that's what we're relegated to in the US.
I own 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on my phone. Paid for on the fucking Google Play Store. So that's just how it is. I have 1 through
3, and then I have the others on DS.
On DS, yeah. Yeah, I don't know why you threw that over there either. We need that. But play that shit. If you never played Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3 before, this is your fucking chance. This is the way to do it.
Yep. All right, now for something even better, Funko Fusion.
Funko Fusion. I'll be real. I don't give a fuck about the Funkos, but the gameplay doesn't look too bad.
Who's making it? Did they say?
I don't know. I have no idea. I think it's some company I've never heard of before. I looked up in the top left corner at the logo. I was like, well, who the fuck are they?
All right, now I know what I'm getting you for Christmas.
But no, I don't. That's for Durazo. That's not for me. But the game genuinely looks fun, the little weird combat and all the crossover with movies and shit like that, and fucking Five Nights, which means I'm definitely not going to buy this fucking game.
So funny,
but
they know their audience.
Yeah.
The new Denpa Men. This looks fun.
I didn't. Why another Denpa Men? That's crazy to me. Free to play too.
This Denpa Men was that. That's a first party Nintendo thing, right?
I think it was published by them at one point, but it's not first party. This is going to be on everything.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Denpa Men isn't really.
They
Nintendo.
look so me-like.
I know, but that's probably deliberate. But they're not me's. They're Denpa Men. And God. Like I said, it's going to be free to play. So you can just try it if you want to.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's a good way to do it. Unless it means microtransactions.
That's exactly what it. Yeah, that's what it means.
Oops. Metal Slug Attack Reloaded.
Mobile game.
It looked like a mobile game.
Yeah, it's cool that another Metal Slug, like not Metal Slug shooter, but a strategy game of some kind is coming out. It's cool that Metal Slug is just getting attention. Clearly SNK wants their IP to just be everywhere, no matter in multiple forms. That's why Terry and Meyer in fucking Street Fighter 6.
I mean, that's the name of the game these days,
put
man.
that over there again.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about
it. But
that's the name of the game these days. Crossovers, brand awareness.
Yeah.
Put it in your face.
But just remember, SNK is owned by an Arabian prince. Well, mostly owned by an Arabian prince now. So be careful when you make purchases in those games, because they're they support the
esports district of Qiddiya.
Yeah, it's a funny thing. Now, I'm not in. Holy shit! I know that sounds like I'm saying something about Saudi. No, I'm not saying anything about Saudi Arabians or anything. I'm saying shit about royalty. Like, be aware if you're outright supporting royalty or governments or shit like that with your money trying to purchase entertainment. You know what I mean?
It's true.
Yeah. We'll
move on from there.
Yeah. Oops.
Darkest Dungeon 2.
Cool that it exists. It looks good.
I don't know what this is.
It's just a roguelike turn-based RPG where you do things. It's cool.
People really like Darkest Dungeon though, don't they? Yeah. I remember it being super popular in the roguelike fandom.
Yeah. My roguelikes aren't my favorite thing, but seeing new these indie games get sequels, like with publisher backing and shit like that, it's cool.
Right. Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection.
Holy shit. Wild as shit. So I know. Oh my god! Just keep that in if you hear it. Look. So I know a lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, you can just play these on Fightcade." People that we know have already said that. I think the bigger deal is that they're being made available for purchase for normal people.
Like a legal,
not fuck about way where you have to have technical knowledge of how to set up a Dreamcast the Dreamcast emulation and shit like that.
And it's got rollback.
It's got See, rollback isn't magic to me.
Rollback. But no crossplay. Game's dead on arrival.
Yeah, no crossplay. It's on PS4, it's on Switch, it's on Steam or PC, and
not Xbox.
Yeah, not Xbox, which is funny to me. But it's nuts. It's crazy that people will be able to buy X-Men versus Street Fighter. People will be able to buy Marvel versus Capcom 2. People will be able to buy and play these games on something Punisher. That they have. Yeah, the Punisher arcade game, which people probably don't think about, but the console version is actually really expensive.
It looks fun.
But these games are really fucking good. All these Marvel vs. Capcom games especially are really good.
Yeah, I've only heard good things about X-Men vs. Street Fighter specifically, and Children of the Atom for that matter.
And if this collection's anything like the other version, like the fighting collection that came out, you'll be able to select which version of the game you want to play.
Interesting.
And each version, like each revision of these individual games, like X-Men versus Street Fighter, they tried to kill the Infinites, but if you can choose the first revision of the game, you get the game where everybody's fucked up, and that shit is fun as hell. I already said I'm probably going to buy it on Switch to have it portably, like I have Street Fighter, the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection, and then I'm going to buy it on Steam so I can play it on play with an arcade stick. I know Fightcade is right there, and I do use it, but again, being able to say to somebody, you want to play MVC2 and not have to fuck around with Fightcade and the Dreamcast emulator they have there and everything.
Just hop in immediately.
And hopefully the versions of the games are emulated well through this collection, because if they are, then we can just play them in perpetuity. You know what I mean? Be able to play it on PS5, probably be able to play it on PS6, be able to play it on the next Switch console, and on PC it's just going to be there.
Yeah, because most of these
until
games
it gets delisted,
have never been ported up. This is the first time, right?
Most of these games have been stuck on
their original consoles.
Well,
PS2, Dreamcast.
Outside of being released on their original arcade version, yeah, like X-Men versus Street Fighter, the best way to play that on a console was on the Sega Saturn.
Yeah, I mean, the only one that even comes close is Marvel vs. Capcom 2 being on Xbox Live.
Yeah, MVC2 was on Xbox 360 and PS3, and it was slightly different. That version's slightly, it's not exactly the same. And like, if you really play the game, you'll notice the differences. On the other hand, if you just want to play a fun game, it's still that.
Dog, I can't believe how much more shit we have to talk about.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to.
This was thick.
Yeah, it was thick as shit. I mean, some of the things are going to be like, oh, well, whatever. But other games are going to be like, oh, fuck. Well, there's a lot going on. But yeah, this collection, great. Pick it up. If Disney buying back, getting Fox.
That's literally why.
To get that.
That's literally why. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite had no fucking X-Men.
We've
had no
disturbing.
X-Men in a fighting game for like over a decade now.
The whole MVC series started with X-Men Children of the... It started with a fucking X-Men game. So it's like, what the fuck are you doing? You can't just not have X-Men in these fucking games, dude.
Straight up, it's the reason why is because they bought Fox.
So
now they have X-Men again under the same umbrella as Marvel. And they have fucking Deadpool versus Wolverine coming out.
Yeah,
in
the
July.
Deadpool. Yeah, yep. And X-Men 97 just came out, so that's in people's heads right now. There's so many
X-Men things coming out. Dice Throne is getting an X-Men expansion.
Yeah, Dice Throne's getting a lot of X-Men shit. Just flood me with the X-Men stuff. Yeah, I'm into it.
Everyone's
it's been
ready.
Good.
They've kept it dry and high for a long time now, and they're unleashing the floodgates. Phantom Brave, The Lost Hero.
Phantom Brave. Wait, let me see.
All right, so here's why this is cool. Phantom Brave was a PS2 tactics game.
Yeah. Okay, this is a
NIS, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
Same people as Disgaea. Which it looks like Disgaea.
It looks just like it. Yeah.
But it's cool for the people that played this on PS2 and were like, I want this 7 out of 10 game to get a sequel 20 years later.
This is a sequel.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a full sequel.
Yeah. I mean, dog, more video games. Sequels to shitty games. I don't give or sequels to like average. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Something I like about these smaller scale games is that you can make them. There are more of them.
Yeah,
they come out. Yeah. So like new IP or otherwise, just new games to play.
Yeah. All right. Super Mario Party Jamboree. I'm very excited for this.
I'm very interested in it. I want to try it.
Did you play Super Mario Party?
I played Super Mario Party.
Super Mario Party was so underrated. It got clowned on because it only had 5 boards.
And people thought the games were little goo goo gaga babies. And I was like,
who?
Plenty of people feel
Anybody
that
that said that is brain dead and doesn't understand Mario Party, and it's not for them, unfortunately. Like, that's the reality. People that said that are the reason why we got Super Mario Party All-Stars, which is like, cool idea.
Superstars.
Whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
It's not fun. The old Mario Party games are not that much fun.
Look, so
Bumper Balls, sure. Bumper Balls rules. There's a few that are good. The slot car racers, whatever it is.
So wait. So the Super Mario Party I thought was cool. I probably wouldn't have bought it, and I think but the fucking the meat cubes. Oh my god, the meat cubes were fucking awesome.
The best minigame Mario Party has ever had. There was tons of shit like that. There was one where you shake the thing out of the jar.
Yeah, you use the fucking
the Joy-Cons are finally good enough that they could have like more precise tuned motion mini games.
Yeah,
and they were fucking fun. And they had the 2v2 mode, which is genuinely the most fun way to play Mario Party. Like having a free for all 4 versus everybody else is like always a way to like make people unhappy.
Yeah, by the time you get to the end of it, it's like everyone's like, "Dog,
2v2 is cool because you have a friend that can either go down the ship with you or you win.
You win with
So like it eases the tension a little bit, and B, there's a little bit of a fun like strategy element to the fact that you combine your dice roll, and then you both get the combined
figure out
dice roll, and you can like
figure out where to go.
Paths.
Yeah,
it's a little more freeform than boards. I really hope they keep that mode.
I hope they do, and I hope they didn't get scared off by people just wanting old Mario Party, because there is value in old Mario Party. I'm glad Superstars exists.
Fuck that shit. We have NSO now.
But look, for real though. But I think what I learned with Superstars, at least, is that what I learned returning to Mario Party, I should say, actually, is that these games were people have nostalgia for these games because they played them as kids. That's it. If you have nostalgia for them, otherwise you probably played them at an actual party or whatever, and that's the environment you need to be in.
That's what I'm saying. Like Superstars, like sure, it's cool that they made it, but as soon as you get into it, if you're like an adult that played these as a kid, you're like, oh, this is a really annoying, tedious.
It becomes tedious, and it's
Super Mario Party is still fun. It's still fun for adults and normal people, and that's the important thing that they learned.
Normal ass people.
Made
and
a normal game.
They don't have like painful mini game. Like rotating the stick is actually not a very good design.
It's awful.
And there's a reason why they have to be like, you're gonna fuck the stick up if you do it. Don't put your palm on it. Blah blah blah. They're included now for the people that are used to that kind of thing. But and people also beg for DLC for these games, and it's like seeing them do another Mario Party. I understand why they don't. It's because people will buy a new Mario Party game, even if they act like they didn't like the other one. If they like Mario
Party,
but
here's the problem with. I agree with you, but here's the problem with your logic. Just playing devil's advocate.
Go ahead.
You could make the same argument with Mario Kart.
You could make the same argument with Mario Kart, but the Mario Kart situation is that people love Mario Kart enough that they can just keep it the same. They don't have to redesign the game. You know what I mean? So because Mario Party has mini games and shit like that, it's like if we're gonna do new mini games, we need a new game, dog. We're not gonna do DLC. We're not gonna get people sick of these games.
But is mini games not analogous to tracks?
No, it's not analogous to tracks at all. Tracks are all playing by the same rules. Mini games all have their own different rules. They're all coded differently. They all have something you have to consider. They're fun for different reasons. They're different things. You can't one size fits. You can't just put the character and controls from one mini game into another one. It's not gonna work that way.
Yeah, fair enough. I do hope that it has more boards than the first Super Mario Party.
Yeah,
if you look at the average number of boards per game, Super Mario Party was like
it's like 5.
It was
by
far the least.
Yeah,
I think normally they have like 7 or 8 in most of the older games. So like,
I think the amount of boards should be
10 would be great.
Like 8 new ones, and then the 2 they showed were in Mario Party 1 and Mario Party 2
again,
board.
Part of it might be like, oh, well, they balanced it for this tag team 2v2 mode, and so they made the board a little different. Whatever the fucking reason is, make that the default mode. Fuck it.
Fine, yeah. Yeah, the multiverses it and make that the mode.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the same time, they did do the car thing in Mario Party 10 or Mario Party 9 and 10. That sucked my balls and
that
ass.
Did suck.
The
That
car
was
shit
awful.
sucks. So I could see them being afraid to try something like that.
Sure.
And make it the main.
And I get it, but they found something that worked. Like everybody liked the game. There were no bad reviews of that game other than like there should be more content here.
Yeah. But yeah,
I
want to try that game. So.
Yeah. Ooh, here we go. The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Windstone.
Crazy. I did not anticipate getting another Zelda game. I still haven't played all the way through Tears of the Kingdom, and I did not anticipate getting another.
Hurry up, dog!
Shut the fuck up! I didn't expect to get another new Zelda game, and it's a top-down game. So anyone,
clearly the same shit as fucking Link's Awakening.
Graphically,
remake.
Visually, it's Link's Awakening.
Probably
remake.
Engine.
Yes, definitely same exact engine.
There were some performance issues with that engine. I hope they
there's spots where when you load into another area, it'd be 30 FPS.
A little
for
bit
a second.
chunky. Yeah.
Hopefully they optimize it. They've had time. That game came out in 2019. And Tears of the Kingdom exists, and they made that work. So they're making a similar situation where you play as fucking Zelda, which everyone's been like, oh, when you gonna do that?
And now there's gamers like, oh, it's woke.
Dog, I'm so fucking sick of that shit.
We got Peach, we got Zelda. The gaming is woke.
The dumbest shit. Next they're gonna make like black. That's what they're afraid of. 1, it's not gonna happen, unfortunately. And 2, who the fuck cares if they made him black? Let me cool shit. Just let me customize a damn Link. Just a guy.
Just a character insert, player insert.
But this game lets you do shit like you
Tears
echo
of the Kingdom type shit.
Yeah, you echo objects in the world. You can like set a bunch of beds up as a staircase and things like that. That's cool as fuck. In a 2D context, this is like
this is the most innovative 2D game I've seen by far from Zelda.
Yeah, it makes me think of that like Zelda 1 little test game they made to test the chemistry system for Breath of the Wild. You know what I mean?
Oh,
they made
I do.
Yeah. It makes me think of that. It's like that, but for Tears of the Kingdom.
Right.
And I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be cool as hell. But there are gonna be so many people complaining like, I just wanted a normal 2D Zelda game. Like, motherfucker, there's plenty of them. Just play that if you want a new one, dog. There's indie games that do the same shit. It's
the 2D
cool,
Zelda
dude.
Games are very fucking samey. When you go back to them, they're very samey.
It's like
even Link Between Worlds, like it was like, oh, you can go through the crack. You're 2D,
and you can kind of do it in whatever order, order you want.
But also kind of not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You could tell when you were like, this isn't gonna work out.
It was a very, very light touch on the innovation.
Yeah.
To be like, oh well, actually, you don't have to do it in this specific order.
Yeah, that they were clearly trying stuff with that game.
They
tried
They
trying to open things up.
Triforce Heroes was at least cool.
Triforce Heroes was a cool idea. I think
I almost would call it a spin-off though, and not like
it's definitely it's
not like a normal.
Oh my god,
there's some annoying shit.
There's some real annoying, and you can cheese it to skip to the end of the game.
I like the idea though.
Yeah, I like it as an idea, but it's also
with like 3 human people.
Not even playable online anymore. So,
oops.
But anyway, people were annoying as fuck in that game. Trying to play that game multiplayer was tedious.
It looks as it reminds me of the creativity that I felt as a kid when
you're talking about Zelda.
Yeah. When Seasons and Ages came out.
Yeah, I mean the new Zelda, I should say.
I feel like that's the last time that they truly tried to be like, let's do something really different.
Yeah, and that's because someone else got a try at it too. So
yeah.
And I'm sure some of those same people are, they all are part of the Zelda series now. The Capcom flagship people are just part of the Zelda games now. That's probably what's happening here. And they had Grezzo probably has their hands on it too because they worked on that. And, they were like, we have this engine. We have this game built. Let's just try shit with it. This is the perfect way to make another 2D Zelda game and get it out not in 6 years. You know?
The fucking Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask situation. Just use what you got.
Yeah,
just make game.
I don't really care what game looks like. Just want gameplay good.
Yeah.
So if gameplay good, then I will enjoy myself with it.
Yeah.
And I maybe I'll get this one physically. Who knows? I bought most of the Zelda games. No, I bought all the Zelda games on Switch digitally.
Oh, interesting.
Oh no, I didn't. I bought Breath of the Wild. I bought the fucking $100 special edition of Breath of the Wild. What I'm talking about. That came with a case for my Switch.
Damn.
But yeah, there are so many new Zelda games on Switch. It's very good, and I'm glad we're getting another one before the thing gets sunset for another. Gets sundownered for for a new console.
Rising Revengeance.
Yeah. But clearly, all of these games are going to be backward compatible on the next system. They would not invest this much and then just kind of throw it all away.
Right.
So,
moving right along, the Nintendo Switch Online updates were pretty fucking nice.
They were for me. All for me.
After months of like, here's a Natsumi Soft game that you've definitely never heard of.
Here's Iggy the Wrecking Balls. It was like, let me back up. I don't mind that Iggy's Wrecking Balls is there. That's cool as shit that game could show up there.
But there's been a lot of sleepers.
Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff. So look, on the Game Boy Advance side, Metroid Zero Mission. Oh, yeah, that game.
Arguably one of the best. It's one of the best Game Boy Advance games.
One of the best Game Boy Advance games, like top 3 2D Metroid game. It's quick, it's short, it's very replayable. Game stays out of your way. Like if you thought
perfect Switch Online game.
If you thought Metroid Fusion gets in your way with the cutscenes, this game does the exact opposite. And it introduced Zero Suit Samus, which is a good thing and a bad thing. Good thing gameplay wise, bad thing
online wise.
Yeah. Like damn, I didn't think this was what Samus was meant to be, but okay. But either way, if you want the story of Metroid 1, this is the canon version of it. You can play this, huh?
Yeah, keep going.
What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna move on to the next game.
Nah, bitch. Oh, next game in the thing.
Yeah.
No, but Zero Mission, you got to play Zero Mission. This is your chance to play it. If you have Switch Online, you should be playing Zero Mission. You'll be done with it in like 2 to 5 hours.
Yep. Zelda 4 Swords for GBA.
Excellent choice. It should have been there day one when the Game Boy Advance showed up.
Genuinely was not even on my radar, just because I always think of it for Link to the Past.
Yeah, it's like Link to the Past is already on Super Nintendo.
But at the same time, I should have been thinking about it because we have fucking Super Mario World and Super Mario World 2.
Right.
The Game Boy Advance version.
You have Super Mario. You have all the Mario Advance games are on there, I think, now.
Right. Yeah. All 4 of them are there.
I think so, yeah.
No, they are, for sure.
Okay.
I played them all.
Okay, there you go. So, fucking... excellent thing about that is 4 Swords is on there.
That is the excellent thing.
And a lot of people didn't get to play 4 Swords properly with 3 other people because you needed 4 Game Boy Advance systems, 4 copies of the game, and 3 Game Boy Advance link cables.
Or be an ambassador of
3DS
when it was $250.
Yeah. What's it called? They released an anniversary version of that game as DSiWare for the DSi and 3DS. You know how long it was available to download for free?
A week?
Less
than a week?
3 days.
Holy shit.
You had 3 days to take your shot. And if you missed it, you missed it. Actually, they re-released it one more time for like a day, a couple of years after that.
That was for 3DS? Because it was DSi?
It was DSi and 3DS. So you could play it on your DSi or your 3DS. And they could,
Interesting.
You could play together. No online, but they actually redesigned the game so it could work as a single player game. So if you hadn't finished Four Swords before, like the Game Boy Advance version, you could play it alone because you could control. It was kind of like Four Swords Adventures. Where you could use formations and shit.
You just swap through with Eleanor. Exactly.
And you'd only control 2 of them.
Right.
But Four Swords being online on Switch, you can actually play it. You can actually get the like special spin attack or whatever that you get in Link to the Past. Finally, without a ton of equipment, just a $10 if you're on a family plan subscription to Nintendo Switch Online. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, so N64 got another app, just like Japan had for GoldenEye. We got a like mature 17 plus version of the app, which is very funny. The icon looks hilarious.
It is funny. It's funny for a number of reasons.
Right. But it allows them to put M-rated N64 games on Switch. And but the first thing they showed was Turok. And there's already a version of Turok you can buy for Switch. Which is funny
because we were literally just saying last week, well, with the new Perfect Dark
Wait. See. I want to present this different way.
All right.
Well, okay, whatever. Look at it. Well, whatever. Okay.
Turok.
So Turok, they showed Turok. I was like, okay, that's cool.
Coming. John loves fucking Turok, as you all remember.
Turok's there. I wish it was Turok 1 and 2 and 3, but I have better versions that can play those on PC, to be honest with you. So whatever. But last episode, I mentioned give me Perfect Dark on NSO because they showed it off at fucking
Oh my god, that timing!
Yeah, they showed it off on they showed the new Perfect Dark off on the Microsoft thing. I was like, this is perfect time to show off to give
the
NSO players
Perfect Dark,
the
original Perfect Dark,
the original N64,
unencumbered,
and they fucking waka. They did the little bass drop of the fucking intro,
which is funny because when Turok was coming on screen, I was like, "Oh my god, it's Perfect Dark!" And then it was Turok, and I was like, "Oh, it's another Geron game." And after Turok,
and then they said, "Oh, fucking Perfect Dark." Every single one of these fucking NSO games was something I was like, "Fuck."
I've got a lot of needles in your arm. Just mainlining.
I've got to put Torno away for just today and play through Perfect Dark.
NSO games.
Insane. Perfect that Perfect Dark is there. Pun not actually intended. But the frame rate is slightly improved. It's not like a chunky 20. It's like a more consistent 30. It's the original N64 visuals, so it's not like you're getting the 360 version. So there's like 2 different versions of the game now that are available now
because of when Rare got bought by Microsoft.
Right, which means you can play the N64 version of the game has the Shigeru Miyamoto face as all the other faces that they had put onto the enemies and players in that game. So it's great that both versions, the Xbox 360 and the N64 version, exist in a way that you can access right now. And there'll be online split screen, which means there's online co-op, online counter-op. I did
not remember that there was online co-op, or that there was co-op.
There's co-op, and then there's the counter-op mode where someone plays as the enemies in the mission. They just kind of body hop as they get killed, and then the main player is trying to complete the objectives. I wish you could play that online and not have it be split screen. But the way the Nintendo online works is just it's just adding online to the already emulated games. Right. But having Perfect Dark on Switch, like some of y'all are gonna be like, "Oh, Gerard, we know you. Of course you'd say that." But I think the Switch is genuinely my favorite Nintendo console of all time now, because like literally almost all my favorite games from other consoles are just on it.
Yeah,
on it, just on this thick ass 1 terabyte SD card.
Yep.
I have the modern Zelda games. I have Metroid Prime Remastered. I can buy Resident Evil 4 on the thing. I can play Metroid Zero Mission. I can play Metroid Prime. I already said that.
But where's Wind Waker HD?
Wind Waker HD is on a hard drive connected to my Wii U.
I think we'll get it at some point.
Even
if it takes the successor coming out.
I thought this was going to be it. Yeah. I thought they were going to show it here. This would have been the perfect time, especially with another new Zelda game coming out. But they wanted to give as much attention to that new, and to the game that there's Twilight Tears of the Kingdom is still new.
I would bet a significant amount of my 401k on the fact that Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD are going to come to a Switch console of some kind, whether it's this one or the next one.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, they have been pretty clear about how they release games and the order they release games and how much time it takes. Like, I forget which game they were referring to. It was either Thousand Year Door or something along those lines. Where they're like, this game has actually been done for like 18 months, but it wasn't the right time to release it. Like they have a ton of analysis on when they announce and release games.
Like Prime Remastered was done for a long time too.
Right.
And when they dropped it, it was like just ready to go. Hey, buy it.
Yeah.
As the moment we announced
it.
They
want to make sure they have a healthy pipeline of games.
Yeah.
And so they're not just going to launch shit as soon as it comes out.
Dog, like Switch game releases. Oh my God. I'm used to Nintendo consoles having maybe like 6 months to a year sometimes where just nothing great is coming out, especially because third parties didn't want to support a lot of those consoles.
That was the big reason too.
But goddamn, Switch has had games on games all the time. There's more. This is the first time I've ever had games that I've bought and never opened yet, like never touched yet.
Yeah.
It's very unusual. I have like 70 something games for this console. So digital and physical, like all together. I'm just like, man, holy shit,
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So they're making moves. Another spot for Lego Horizon Adventures.
Yeah, funny to see. Just funny to see that in a Nintendo Direct from PlayStation Publishing LLC. Stray being there, I forgot it wasn't there already actually, and it's kind of funny because there's another like indie cat game coming out.
It's already out.
Oh, it's already out.
Kitty Big City.
Oh yeah, there you go. Stray being there, I want to see what Stray looks like in person. I'm not going to buy it.
No.
Especially if I was going to buy it, I'd buy it on PC. I would not buy it on Switch. But
I will tell you, it does not run well on Steam Deck. So
yeah. So what the fuck could be going on here?
It definitely cut some fucking corners for the Switch. Again, it seems like something where it's like there's probably modes to it. So when the next console does come out, it'll run better.
It'll just bump it up.
This feels like a very clear example of that.
I'm sure there's games right now that are running at unlocked frame rates, and arbitrary resolutions, so that when they show up on another console, they have a third mode, which is Switch handheld, Switch docked, and then new Switch.
Right.
Where it on that new Switch, it'll run the same handheld or docked, and then it'll just look better or whatever.
Anything else on that one?
On what, the NSO stuff?
No, on NSO.
No. I have nothing left for those.
Tales of the Shire.
Funny. Lord of the Rings stuff is cool. I think I'm not really worried about video games based on the IP.
This game looks pretty shitty. It looks pretty ugly. Okay. It looks pretty boring.
Yeah, I don't. That's not the way I want to engage with that IP. It's the same thing with Bionicle. I don't really care about those. They made so many games. I didn't give a fuck about any of them.
Yeah.
I just wanted to play with the fucking Lego.
Is Bionicle your favorite franchise, you would say?
No, that doesn't make sense. But it's one of my favorite
IP.
One of my favorite things from my childhood to like early teens was that, because it was not babyfied. You know what I mean?
It was just presented.
It was presented as there was some serious shit that would happen sometimes. The movies are kind of babyfied actually. I'm not terribly into those. But just the Lego sets and the storyline that they made for them, and you had to like play the online Flash game to actually get the entire story, because that whole thing was canon. But it was like a point and click adventure game.
Yeah.
So it's like, damn. And just I'm talking about Bionicle again. Next.
Next is Just Dance 2025.
Don't give a fuck.
Whoa.
It's cool that JoJo Siwa's getting some stuff in there, but don't give a fuck about that game.
I'm gonna do the JoJo Siwa dance with my Joy-Con and break my TV because I'm spasming so hard.
You fucking dislocate your shoulder too.
The 100 line Last Defense Academy.
Let me see that.
I have no idea what this is.
I saw this. It was like the Animu.
Yeah.
Animu. That anime looking. Yeah. I think they just went in one ear and out the other one.
Yeah.
If it ends up being cool, maybe I'll look it up again, because I remember it looked nice. It's a nice looking game.
Right.
But I've got enough that kind of game.
Yeah. All right, 3 more here. Ace Attorney Investigations Collection. So that one seems cool because it brought back games that were only in Japan, right?
Yeah, it did. Yeah. Something about it is like off-putting to me.
This specific one?
This specific one.
Interesting.
I don't like the walking around aspect.
That's fair.
I think it's really ugly. I think it just doesn't look. I'm glad the pixel art's still there. I'd prefer to use only that, but as an option. But I don't know. Something about it, I'm just not.
It's not jiving with you.
Phantom Phoenix Wright has never been something that I really gravitated to anyway. Like, I like visual novel stuff and things like that. I don't know why. I think those games have just never been presented in a form that was especially perfect for me. Like on a console, it's a little too much. A DS was probably perfect, but they weren't all there.
Right. Have you played a Phoenix Wright?
I've played a little bit of. I don't remember which one, but I played a little bit. It's fun, but I'm never like I have to have this.
My brother, weirdly enough, who's like, oh, I only play 2D Mario games. 3D's too much for me.
Yeah.
He's like a very normie gamer.
Okay.
Like he doesn't even like Zelda that much.
Yeah.
He plays Madden, but he fucking loved Phoenix Wright.
Was
obsessed with Phoenix Wright.
Damn.
He bought every single Phoenix Wright game as they came out for his DS.
Maybe like just engaged him in exactly the right way.
But that specific thing, like the way that it latched onto him of all people, like made me want to try it. I just still haven't yet.
Yeah, I mean, the collections are all available on a lot of different things. So if you want to try, they're almost all out for you, except for Leighton versus.
Right.
Yeah.
Second to last one, Romancing Saga 2 Remake.
Looks pretty.
Looks good.
Romancing
Saga
really
2
good.
is the one that people say is the first good one.
Yeah.
The first one is real jank and real stiff. Even the second one, I think, is a little too stiff for me to actually play like the native version, which is on Switch.
Yeah.
Regular Romancing Saga 2 and 3 are both on Switch for purchase.
Right.
And I have it, and I started it, and I was like, this is a little too not fun.
Yeah. I would need to, they need to, this is another like demo game.
Yeah.
Show me a demo, show me what you think would make me want to play this, and then maybe when I'm have the flavor for an RPG again.
Yeah. I am hopeful that a demo would come out because, they've been cranking out demos left and right. So
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see if that happens. They also just had the Emerald, Grace, whatever, Beyond, whatever the fucking names are.
It was kind of fucking crusty.
Is it? Did you try the demo? That had a demo though.
I couldn't get through that demo.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. I thought it looked nice, and I was like, something's like not feeling good about
Saga
this.
games are just, they have something to them like that.
Yeah.
Just like the way the mechanics are built.
Mm-hmm.
Which again, some people really like that sort of friction and that pacing, but
it wasn't for me.
Yeah,
at least that game wasn't for me.
All right, and then to cap
the fuck off
our 40-minute presentation, thick and full of games, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. It's been many moons.
They announced Metroid Prime 4 in 2017, and then suddenly announced Metroid Samus Returns, and I bet those were supposed to be a little bit closer together, but they fucking weren't. Metroid Prime 4 got they stopped development and restarted with Retro Studios.
They nuked it.
Yeah, they just threw it all.
Whatever is here is trash.
Is not good. They were straight up like, "What? This is not good enough." So
more companies, like most companies, I should say, cannot afford that.
Cannot afford that, exactly.
Part of it also is the scope and scale of development.
Yeah, that's true.
It's why Nintendo Switch is stuck around, because it's smaller.
Exactly.
You have to limit yourself in terms of what you can put on the console.
When you make something for it, you make something for it. And if you make something just for it, you end up with a product that works, that is fun, and that gets finished.
Yeah.
You know? Barring like the ports that come from other places. Like the Doom ports are fun on that. They're obviously a little crusty compared to the standard version, like the original versions, but whatever. But Metroid Prime 4 looks really good to me.
It does look really good. Thank God for retro.
Yeah, for real. like
straight up.
Whatever practice they got making Metroid Prime remastered, because that runs at 60 FPS and has a lot of good visual effects that look good on Switch. Yeah. Samus's suit looks the way you think. They kind of slendered it a little bit more from Metroid Prime 2 and 3. They have Samus standing in a little bit more of a feminine manner now, which is very funny to me. It's like, you don't have to do that, but they did that. The arm cannon, everything looks like Metroid Prime. The inside of the visor now properly reflects the shape of her visor with the third like spike up at the top middle of
Widow's Peak.
I guess the reverse Widow's Peak.
Yeah.
Fuck. They start clearly there's like some kind of major space pirate battle going on in this
with the Federation.
In this trailer. What my assumption is that this is after the Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3 are about Phazon, which is a substance that mutates living beings and things like that. It's how Metroid Prime came to be formed. And Phase was the place where this Phazon originated from. So it shot a bunch of giant leviathans to infect a bunch of other planets with it. And Samus and everybody dealt with that. But Samus pissed off a bunch of different people and factions, hunters, yeah, in between doing all of that. So
when does Prime Hunters take place again?
Prime Hunters takes place before Metroid Prime 2.
So between 1 and 2?
Between 1 and 2. So they had announced a while back that the game was going to feature Sylux. Like Sylux was going to be important to the future of Metroid Prime, which is crazy because Sylux was just one random multiplayer character in Metroid Prime Hunters on the DS, and he never showed up before, he didn't show up after, except for Metroid Prime Federation Force, which at the end there's a secret ending if you do something with the Metroid egg in one of the missions, and if you do that, then you get a cutscene of somebody hatching the Metroid egg, and that person is implied to be Sylux. And in that game, people have like a fucking super chibi, super deformed style, but he has the shoulder spike, so you can tell that it is supposed to be Sylux.
Yeah, because when he first pulls up his arm, I'm like, oh, that's a chibi hand. That can't be.
Yeah,
that can't be our boy.
Yeah, exactly. And then, so crazy enough.
But also at the end of Prime 3, isn't that Sylux's ship that's chasing her?
Yeah, there's a ship that chases, and they were just like straight up. I actually forgot about that. They're just like, yeah, it's Sylux. Sylux's ship doesn't look like that in Metroid Prime Hunters.
Oh,
however,
okay.
But
they all have ships.
They all have ships in Prime Hunters because they're all traveling between the planets.
Right. Okay.
And then they have to travel to the Oubliette to fight off the thing that convinced them to come there, which, whatever.
Don't worry about the Hunter story.
No, but Hunters and Federation Force are now very canon.
Very canon.
Which is hilarious, especially Federation Force.
I mean, they're very canon, but it's also like, do you really, like, the story is not the important part, but the fact that they're even acknowledging it, like Sylux, they didn't have to follow through with having Sylux in there with the Metroids. Yeah,
they just didn't have to do that, but they did it anyway.
But I feel like they would have. I feel like they always would have, at least if like the narrative team or the direction, the director is the same as the 2D Metroids, because even Dread, they're like, we've had a vision for Dread to tie the 4 games before this together.
Yeah.
And we just wanted to wait for the right time and technology to do it. I feel like they probably had the same thing with Prime 4.
Maybe. Like, who knows, man? Because a lot of the people that worked on Prime, like Prime 1, 2, and 3 just aren't there anymore.
Yeah.
And Yoshio Sakamoto is kind of like arm's length with Prime.
Yeah.
To the point where Prime was almost just a random spin-off that didn't have anything to do with anything. But
thank God for Retro Studios.
Yeah, like the game looks really good. I can see that there's a new weapon system because the missiles were on the D-pad, which is different. I'm sure it's going to have a dual stick control scheme. The greenery they showed at the very last bit when they showed the 2025,
and they had the Talon theme.
Well, that was new music.
It was new music, but it definitely had the
you talking about the Fendrana stuff in there?
Oh yeah, Fendrana. Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
They had a little bit of that. I can tell that they looked at Metroid Prime 1 and were like, "What about this game?"
The same motif, just with different rhythm.
Yeah, and then like the big like battle, the big battle going on is very much a Prime 3 thing.
Right.
So there's probably going to be the narrative cues of Prime 3 with the environment and the progression of Prime 1, which is all I need. All I fucking need.
Yeah.
They kept Samus quiet in the trailer, which they could have just had her speak. At this point, she's established as someone who's
spoken a couple times.
She's spoken multiple times, and they did a really good job of that in Dread. The game is called Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
What do you think the Beyond means?
Beyond, I think you are going to go out of like the known galaxy of the Galactic Federation, and because like the whole thing looks like the background for the logo looks like a wormhole kind of deal.
Yeah, like a black hole wormhole situation.
And it's just like, what is this going to mean? Are we going to another part of the galaxy where some things are happening?
Mushroom Kingdom.
Oh my god. I mean, maybe there's another Leviathan Sea. Maybe Metroid Prime, but maybe Metroid Prime, as in Dark Samus, has reformed somewhere else as some fucking giant Metroid Prime ass fucking slime beast again. Who knows?
Do you think this means the dream is dead for a Prime 2 and 3 remaster?
I don't think so. I think this is far enough out that could still happen.
Okay.
I think they probably just won't reveal it in a direct. They'll just say, Look at Twitter. Look what's out now.
I could see that.
But on the other hand, I guess I can live without a remaster. I just hope they get re-release Metroid Prime 1 and 3 in some form, even if it's just the original game with up-res like Pikmin 1 and 2. Right. Available on
Considering
Switch.
that they were focusing on the story for Prime 4 trailer. You know
yeah, I mean? Exactly. Really what they need to re-release because of the way the trailer is fucking
Hunters.
The Hunters and Federation Force, but they're not going to do that.
Here's the real conspiracy.
Yeah.
Because Hunters is so critical to Prime 4.
Yeah.
Because Prime 4 is coming out in 2025, presumably maybe even a launch title for Switch 2. Is there a world where Switch 2 is a dual screen system that has Hunters available on the NSO?
I doubt that. It's not going to be dual screen system. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Expensive, clunky. That's not going to happen. At the size they have the machine at the size they're going to need to power 2 screens on a handheld like this and have it be more no, not 2 screens, not happening. Like you're out of your mind thinking that's not happening. Sorry. if you wanted to play Hunters, I hope you have a Wii U with it installed.
We'll see.
It's not going to happen.
We'll see.
But whatever. All right. So if I had to rank these things, I'm just going to talk about
the showcases or the games.
The showcases. The three main hardware manufacturers and the Summer Game Fest. Summer Game Fest and PlayStation are at the bottom.
For sure. I don't think that's much of a hot
Microsoft and Nintendo are together at the top.
Together?
They're together
at
the top.
I think one over the other?
No, I think they're standing right next to each other. Nintendo gave me stuff that I know I wanted. Microsoft gave me stuff I didn't know I wanted.
That's true.
So I was like, great. So at least 2 of the console manufacturers,
good way to put it.
And the ones that I buy games from anyway, because I don't have an Xbox, but on PC and Switch, I have stuff that I can be like excited for when I dry out the games I already have. You know what I mean?
I would agree with that. Yeah. I mean, I think about whatever the fucking game's called, Expedition 33.
Yeah, that's exactly what came to mind.
That Perfect Dark announcement, I think Microsoft had more excitement to generate.
Yeah.
Nintendo, it was really Mario and Luigi and Zelda were the 2 new things.
Yeah.
That were also specific to Nintendo.
Yeah. Did you say Mario, Luigi, and Zelda? Did you mean to say
Mario,
Luigi, and Zelda? Okay. Not Metroid? I mean,
we already knew about Metroid.
Yeah. Okay, I know.
So I understand what you mean. Yeah. So I think that's the big difference. Also, a lot of the stuff for Nintendo, they announced it as part of the Direct, but a lot of it is multi-platform.
A lot of it is multi-platform.
A lot of it is Steam.
Which actually is, I like that.
I'm fine with that.
I like knowing that stuff is going to be available in other things, even if they announce them in not as an exclusive, but they announce them exclusively in a presentation for a certain, like the Marvel collection. I'm glad that was in the Nintendo Direct. I'm also very glad it's going to be on PS4 and Steam and all that kind of shit.
No, but it's an interesting thing. Is Nintendo working with these developers to secure the rights to reveal this information because it enhances their Direct and the consumer sentiment?
Probably. There's probably a benefit between both of them, because I think the people that watch Nintendo Directs are very weird about talking about, we're talking about it right now, but are very weird about being what?
Oh, soy facing?
When they see that shit in a Nintendo Direct as opposed to a State of Play.
It's true.
You know what I mean? And
State of Play is a little more sterile.
Yeah, and there's the audience for the Nintendo Directs is more receptive to a Mega Man X collection or a Mega Man, Mega Man Zero collection being revealed as a big thing.
Right.
Taking a time slot there.
Yeah. But it's just an interesting thing to think about. Yeah, because a lot of the Nintendo Directs get boosted by the third parties now, as opposed to the first parties.
Yeah,
where Xbox genuinely had more first party stuff.
Yeah, exactly,
for sure. So I would probably say Xboxes would actually beat out Nintendo's, even though I personally probably am going to play more games from the Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, so both of them have games that are just going to be on PC. So I'm anything that I'd rather not play on Switch. Or play on the console that they're released on, I should say. They're available to me, which is a good thing to me. Yep. So,
all right, good shit.
Blasted it. No more talking about this stuff. Didn't you have one? I thought you had one.
Did I? There was an artist. Something. I posted something about this artist, and it's not really much of a Higher Advance thing. It's more just a thing of how people think about 2D sprite work. It was explaining 2D, can't even find the original because Twitter on fucking Messenger is the worst thing in the goddamn world. It doesn't show me any of the responses.
You just gotta hit the fucking thing.
So,
dog, what the fuck? The Beyond Good and Evil fucking Twitter page posted something.
Yeah,
for the limited run game. What the fuck? Yeah, the anniversary thing's coming out for sure.
Yeah.
That's funny as shit. Hold on. I can't find the post. I'm looking in the wrong spot. I don't know.
It's Jover.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Fuck it. We'll have real fucking
Retro Studios is the real victory.
Yeah, we'll have a higher fans again when we're focused on shit, but we're both living our lives. Things are happening. So you gotta.
Yeah, you're. Well, if you like this podcast, give us a like, comment, subscribe. We're on Twitter. We're not on Twitter. I lied.
Yeah, we're not on fucking
Send us an
Twitter.
email at thememoryleakpodcast@gmail.com. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio,
Yep.
Google Podcasts, Apple
Yep.
Podcasts, Podbean, and YouTube. Yeah, let us know what games you're excited for. And until next time, you got a lot to think about and a lot to pre-order.
Hell yeah. Don't pre-order. You can wait till the games come out. It'll be available.
There's no reason to pre-order in the digital age.
Right.
All right. Till next time. Peace.
Bye-bye.